The year is 2028, and for years, multinational company Omnicorp has been filling the military with very advanced drones. These drones keep up security around the world by using scanners that identify threats on the spot. TV host Novak wants these robots to replace the police in American cities too, but people are afraid of machines. The government is against having law enforcement that can't feel. To prove his point, Novak brings a military leader to his show. He explains the details of how every operation works. He's also sent a reporter to the Middle East to show the robots work on live TV. The reporter goes around town recording how the robots don't hurt anyone that isn't a threat. He calls it a victory for safety procedures. However, the locals are clearly not happy with the fact their home is taken over by robots. So a group of rebels sneaks around with heavy weaponry. They jump on the robots for a full-out attack. Soon, a violent battle ensues on the streets. Buildings get blown up by the robots on the ground. Flying drones also shoot any time they see an attacker. Many of these rebels jump on the robots from roofs to bring them down. As the entire area begins to explode, the robots find a scared young boy. He has a knife in his hand, only trying to protect himself. But for the scanner, a knife is enough to be a threat. The robot immediately kills the boy. Novak doesn't let this change his mind. He tells his viewers that what the robot did was a good thing, just part of keeping the city safe. Meanwhile, at the police station, Detective Alex comes to see his boss. She demands an explanation about the incident his rude coworkers are accusing him of. Alex tells her the whole story. The previous night, Alex and his best friend met with some criminals for an undercover operation. They tricked a dealer into revealing some illegal weapons. They arrested him on the spot. However, when Alex went to check the evidence locker later, the weapons they took were missing. Nobody signed the paperwork. This meant a dirty cop had to take them out. Afterward, Alex and his partner went undercover again. They met with the gang leader at a restaurant, but they were interrupted when the leader got a call warning him that Alex was a cop. The leader immediately left the building. He sent his men to kill the cops, starting a gunfight all over the place. The two policemen quickly shot back, but they were clearly outnumbered. When they saw an opening, they tried to escape through the back alley. Alex made it outside without issues, but unfortunately his best friend got shot in the process. After hearing the story, Alex's boss scolds him for going out without backup. She says she'll handle the search for the dirty cop. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., Omnicorp CEO Sellers tries to convince the government that robot cops are a good idea, but the senators turn him down again. Afterward, at Omnicorp's headquarters, Sellers has a meeting with his team. They discuss ideas on how they can make the public accept robots on the streets. Since the senators keep mentioning the fact robots can't feel, he comes to a conclusion. They need to fuse an actual human with a machine. Meanwhile, at a special clinic, Dr. Norton is helping his latest patient adapt to his new hands. Norton specializes in robotic prosthetics that work based on your own emotions, so the patient must learn to concentrate on his mechanical hands to be able to play the guitar. The practice is interrupted by Sellers. He talks to Norton in private and convinces him to design a human-machine hybrid. Norton gets together with Sellers' team to discuss their options, but every retired policeman has had their wounds for too long. They're now too emotionally traumatized to go back to work, so they need to look for a fresher case. In another part of the city, Alex's rude coworkers reveal themselves to be dirty cops. They warn the gang leader that the police department is after him. To get rid of this investigation, they'll have to do something about Alex. Later, while Alex is visiting his best friend at the hospital, a criminal puts a bomb under his car. In the evening, Alex goes home. He spends some time with his son David and his wife Clara. When they're about to get busy, Alex hears the alarm of his car go off. He goes outside to check. As soon as he comes closer to the vehicle, the car explodes. This leaves him severely injured. As soon as Omnicorp hears of this, they invite Clara to their offices to make an offer. They'll give Alex a whole new mechanical body so he can go on living. Clara is hesitant. But then they describe in disgusting detail all the wounds Alex has suffered. They point out that if Clara doesn't make her choice now, Alex will die soon. Clara has no choice but to accept. 3 months later, Alex is happily seen dancing with his wife at a house party, but then the image starts crumbling down. The scientists reveal Alex's new form. It's 90% mechanical parts, but his brain is still human, so he's slowly going through his memories. When they finally wake him up, Alex is confused and upset. Norton quickly reminds him what happened. He guides him through his first steps. However, the body feels too weird. When Alex hears the word amputee, he freaks out. He demands for the suit to be removed. When Norton tries to calm him down, Alex violently pushes him away. Then he runs out of the building, pushing anyone who tries to stop him. His running speed is amazing. When he encounters the wall surrounding the building, he jumps over it without breaking a sweat. However, when he starts running again, Norton finally decides to shut him down remotely. A moment later, Alex wakes up at the lab again. Norton removes the main pieces of the robotic body to show Alex that only a few organic parts of him are left, so there's no running away from this. Norton says it was the only way to save him. But Alex thinks death is better than being a machine. He asks the doctor to pull the cord. Norton changes his mind by explaining Clara asked for the procedure. His family is waiting for him. He should do this for her. To prove this, Norton lets Alex call Clara. Although Alex only shows her his face for now, Clara thinks he's still very handsome. She can't wait to reunite with him. Now that Alex has accepted to cooperate, he spends the night at the lab. His body goes through maintenance. The next day, he's taken to do some training with Rick. He's the military man in charge of handling Omnicorp's robotic armies in the field. He thinks that the machines are already perfect, so he considers it a waste of time and resources to include a human in the project. But he still provides Alex with weapons. Alex can put them away in his special leg compartments. They put Alex and a robot through a simulation where they must kill criminals and save civilians. As everyone runs around doing the rescues without much trouble, Rick's predictions are true. Alex ends up being slower than the machines. The machines simply evaluate and act, while Alex takes a moment to feel between evaluation and acting. Later in the evening, when he's alone, Alex uses a computer to keep track of what's happening with the gang leader. The next day, Sellers is disappointed by the results of the simulation. He furiously orders Norton to fix this problem. He also thinks Alex needs to look better on screen for marketing reasons, so he asks for a better tactical suit. Later at the lab, the doctor opens Alex's head. He does some modifications to his brain that will make him think he still has free will. But the machine will actually be the one acting. Alex is also given a complete makeover. Now his armor looks black and slick. Afterward, they bring Alex to an abandoned building for a new test. This time, he must go against Rick and an army of robots alone. Using his visor to scan the area, and with outstanding reflexes, Alex quickly assesses the situation. He takes action, shooting at every single robot without hesitation. He's also quick to find cover and hide when he's shot at, so he never gets hurt. One by one, all the robots go down. In the end, only Rick is standing, so Alex shoots at his exoskeleton armor to take the win. All his reaction times are perfect. He never suspects the machine is doing the choosing, so the experiment is considered a success. Sometime later, Norton takes Alex home so he can finally see his family. He's rather nervous and has to take a moment to gather courage. But as soon as Clara sees him, she doesn't hesitate to hug him. David is a bit wary, but after Alex lets him touch the cool mechanical parts, David says he's happy to see him. He's been recording some games to watch together. Unfortunately, Alex can't stay because he must spend the night in the lab for maintenance. When he returns to the base, Alex meets his best friend who has finally recovered. He promises to catch the people that hurt him. A few days later, Sellers is eager to introduce Alex to the citizens in a big public event, so Norton begins transferring all the files of crimes and criminals since 2011. Alex also gains access to every single security camera in the city. The information is a lot to handle by a human brain. When Alex sees the recording of the explosion of his car, he has a seizure and passes out. Norton doesn't think they should have a press conference today, but the Omnicorp team forces Norton to fix the issue. Having no choice, Norton kicks everyone out except for his assistant. He proceeds to suppress Alex's emotions, leaving him to act like an actual cold robot. Now they can finish downloading the whole database without trouble. When they go to the presentation, Alex concentrates on his duty. He ignores his wife and friends, only seeing faces as criminals or civilians and not loved ones. Once he's on stage, his scanner begins identifying all the faces in the crowd until he finds a criminal 2 steps in front of the police. He immediately jumps into the crowd and catches the criminal in seconds without hurting anyone. This causes the population to start admiring Alex. On TV, Novak uses this incident to prove robots are better. The police had been standing next to a criminal and they never noticed. However, Clara is very upset because they won't let her or David talk to Alex. In fact, they're not allowing him to have a life at all. Norton tells her not to worry because this is just a side effect of the medicine. He'll get better soon. The next day, Alex finally returns to duty at the station. He announces he'll catch 13 criminals today. Ignoring his friend's worries, he takes a bike. He finds a group of dealers thanks to his access to the database and the cameras. Most of the group runs away, but Alex manages to bring down a dealer. He threatens him until he confesses the location of his base of operations. Moments later, Alex arrives at an illegal kitchen. He enters the building still on his bike, shooting at every criminal. He's not bothered by normal bullets coming his way. Even when they try to get him from behind, Alex's scan detects them. He easily brings them down. People at Omnicorp are happy with the results. Sellers gives Rick full access to monitor Alex just in case. As days pass, Alex becomes a hero in the city, stopping crime in every corner. Novak makes a big deal out of it. He brings Sellers to a show to explain to the senator that the American public is slowly changing their minds. When the senator tries to protest against it, he's simply cut off. Meanwhile, the dirty cops meet with the gang leader to make a plan to deal with Alex. He's been making their job very hard. Sometime later, Clara risks running through traffic to finally approach Alex. She asks him to show some emotion. She wants him to do something for his family since his son is suffering from night terrors. He needs his father. At first, Alex seems unaffected, but as he drives away, he begins approaching this as the robotic cop he is. He searches for security footage and discovers David had seen the car explosion. This left him traumatized. Learning this about his son really upsets Alex's humanity. Slowly, his brain begins undoing Norton's process of taking away his emotions. He's furious that his family has been suffering because of him. He intends to fix it. People at the lab notice this change through Alex's tracker. They consider turning him off. But Norton wants to see what happens since technically Alex is still solving a crime. It just happens to be his own. Alex goes to his home by taking the information from all the cameras. He recreates the day of the attack. He sees his wife and son the moment he exploded. Using the few clues he has, he goes to look for a man who worked with the gang leader. He drags him out of the car through the window and breaks his hand. Alex steps on it to make him hurt more. The criminal gives him the phone number of the leader's driver. After triangulating the signal of his last call, he finds the exact location of the gang's base. While Alex makes his way there, cops at the station learn that Alex is out there solving his own crime. Soon, the gang leader is informed that Alex is going after him. By the time Alex makes it to the base, the criminals are ready to receive him in the dark. They have night vision goggles and heavy weaponry. Alex breaks in with his bike and activates his night vision, triggering a gunfight. No matter how many criminals there are or how many times they shoot, Alex has no trouble. He walks through the base shooting anyone that gets in his way, until nobody is left alive, although this time he does receive some damage in the process. Afterward, Alex turns on the power again. He takes samples of all the fingerprints on the weapons. This finally reveals which cops are dirty. Alex rushes to the police station to interrogate the men. He plays incriminating footage on all the computers. One of the dirty cops tries to attack Alex. He immediately shoots him to defend himself. The other guy is terrified and confesses it was their boss who planned everything. Then Alex shoots him anyway. Afterward, Alex confronts his boss and tries to make her confess, but at that moment Rick shuts him down. Rick calls Sellers to tell him they can use this. Soon Novak puts the incident all over his show. He proves that machines are better than people because they can't be bought. The next day, the government starts to vote in favor of bringing robots to the local police. However, the transmission is interrupted by Clara. She finally goes to the news and tells everyone she hasn't been allowed to see her husband. Nobody from Omnicorp will answer her calls. Clara's involvement makes Sellers worry that she'll bring Alex's humanity back. They'll lose control of him, therefore costing them the law. If they retire Alex, it'll look like their experiments aren't good enough, so instead they decide to kill Alex to make him go as a tragic hero that people will remember fondly. Sellers gets in contact with Norton to order him to do it. When a furious Norton refuses, Sellers buys him over by offering to finance his laboratory for 10 years. Norton ends up accepting, but only if Sellers compensates Alex's family as well. Afterwards, Sellers tells Rick to get his robots ready. While the law gets approved by the senators, Sellers meets with Clara and David. He makes them think Alex is already dead at the lab. Norton arrives to find there are already soldiers there demanding to see Alex, so he runs away as they open fire on him. Norton makes it to Alex first. He activates a button that makes Sellers think he's dead. However, Alex still wakes up. It turns out Norton took his transmitter away, so nobody has access to his vitals and they can't turn Alex off ever again. After Alex quickly shoots both soldiers, Norton tells Alex about the whole plan. Alex decides he must kill Sellers. He ignores Norton when he tries to stop him. As he takes the streets on his bike, Rick sees him from his car and warns Sellers he was about to announce Alex's death on stream. His guards immediately take him, Clara and David, to the roof to wait for a rescue helicopter. Meanwhile, Norton goes to the police to find Alex's best friend. He asks for his help. At that moment, Alex arrives at Omnicorp headquarters. He finds it surrounded by Rick's robots and several guards. Alex knocks down a guard in a second to make the others surrender. Then he breaks into the building using his bike. He starts a gunfight with the other robots. Unlike normal criminals, the robots are much better armed and have better armor, so Alex has trouble fighting them. He keeps getting hit by heavy bullets. When he tries to jump on a robot to stop it, he's simply thrown away. He gets caught under some debris. Alex manages to free himself with some shots. But running away with a wounded leg means he's too slow. The robots begin shooting him from behind. At that moment, a police truck breaks into the building. Alex's best friend walks in front of him. This causes the robots to stop shooting because cops are safe in the system. This gives Alex the chance to escape through a back corridor. Deeper in the building, Alex finds Rick and tries to shoot him. However, the system has Rick classified as non-threatening. It won't allow Alex to harm him. Rick has some fun shooting Alex with warning shots. When he's ready to shoot him for good, Alex's best friend shows up. He kills Rick first before dying. Rick shoots him back. So Alex rushes to check on his friend. Luckily, the wound is non-fatal. They just need to wait for the ambulance. Next, Alex goes to the roof. When the helicopter sees him, it flies away without picking up the group. Sellers is confident that Alex can't attack him because he's programmed as non-threatening too. But seeing Alex fighting his programming, Sellers threatens to kill Clara and David just in case. This is actually worse because Alex's love for his family allows him to override his program for good. He shoots anyway, killing Sellers as the man returns the shot. Alex falls to the ground. His family rushes to check on him, but he assures them he's fine. Sometime later, Norton gives Alex back the prototype body. He informs him that from now on, he is allowed to spend time with his family. Meanwhile, reporters on TV show that the government is more sure now that robots shouldn't be allowed on the streets. The law is canceled, especially when Norton accepts to testify and admit everything he did was wrong. Novak is furious and rants in front of the camera.